Welcome to Black Screen Bright Ideas. I'm Paul Pena.
And I'm Kate Lanata.
So tonight we're diving into something close to my heart, I
Yeah.
think, especially, as someone who sometimes struggles to quiet my mind at the end of the day, a calming evening routine, but inspired by the ancient Stoics.
Oh, the Stoics, they had some incredible insights into living a good life. And, a lot of their practices are just as relevant, I think, today as they were centuries ago.
Absolutely. And we'll be focusing on wisdom from Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, and specifically his personal journals, meditations. But we won't be getting, too much into the heavy philosophical stuff. Instead, we're going to be adapting his insights for modern life and exploring 7 practices that can help you unwind, reflect, and set yourself up for a restful night's sleep.
I like to think of it as like a journey to cultivate inner peace and prepare for a better tomorrow, one evening practice at a time.
I love it. Okay, so let's start with the first practice, eliminating external stimuli. Marcus Aurelius believed in disconnecting from the external world in the evenings to reconnect with himself and find inner peace.
It's so fascinating how this ancient idea is so relevant in our modern world, where we're constantly bombarded with information and stimulation from our devices and social media and the never-ending news cycle.
Yeah, it's like our minds never get a chance to truly rest.
Mm,
I know for me, scrolling through my phone before bed often leaves me feeling more wired than relaxed.
exactly. The Stoics believe that to find true tranquility, you need to step away from the external chaos and create space for quiet reflection. This doesn't mean, becoming a hermit or anything like that, but rather making conscious choices about how we spend our evenings.
So instead of automatically reaching for your phone or turning on the TV, what if you tried something different? What if you replaced those activities with something more mindful, even just for a few minutes?
Even 5 minutes of guided meditation can make a huge difference. I mean, there are so many great apps and resources available these days. You could also try a simple breathing exercise or a body scan where you bring your attention to each part of your body, noticing any sensations without judgment.
I've actually tried body scan meditations before, and I have to say it's incredibly relaxing. It's like giving yourself a mental massage.
It's a wonderful way to release tension and prepare for sleep. And speaking of connecting with your body, that leads us to the second Stoic practice, physical exercise.
Marcus Aurelius believed that a healthy mind requires a healthy body, and he saw even a simple exercise routine as a way to cultivate virtue.
He emphasized virtues like perseverance and self-discipline, which we can actually develop through physical activity.
That's so interesting. I've never thought about exercise as a way to build those qualities, but it makes sense. When you push yourself physically, you're also training your mind to overcome challenges and stick to your goals.
Exactly. And the benefits of exercise go far beyond physical fitness. Exercise releases endorphins, reduces stress, and improves your mood, all which can contribute to a more restful night's sleep.
So are we talking about hitting the gym every night before bed?
Not necessarily. Even a brisk walk in the evening, paying attention to your surroundings and connecting with nature can be incredibly grounding.
I love that idea. There's something about being in nature that just helps me to clear my head and feel more at peace.
It's a powerful way to unwind and transition from the busyness of the day to the quiet of the evening. Now, the third practice might seem a bit counterintuitive, especially as you're winding down for bed reviewing your day.
You mean like replaying everything that happened? That sounds like a recipe for anxiety, not sleep.
It's not about dwelling on the negatives or getting caught up in worries. Instead, Marcus Aurelius saw this nightly review as a practice in self-awareness. He would track his actions and choices throughout the day to identify patterns and see where he could improve.
So it's more about reflection than judgment. Like a compassionate look back at your day to see what you learned and how you can grow.
Exactly. Imagine ending your day by asking yourself a few simple questions. What went well today? What could I have done differently? What am I grateful for?
I can see how that could actually be quite calming. Instead of letting worries swirl around in your head, you're consciously processing your experiences and extracting valuable lessons from them.
It's like taking a moment to tidy up your mental space before you go to sleep. And speaking of mental models, that leads us to the fourth Stoic practice, contemplating your inner sage.
Okay, this sounds intriguing. What exactly is an inner sage?
The Stoics believed in choosing a role model, a wise figure who embodied their values. They would then reflect on their actions and ask themselves, did I live up to that ideal today?
So it's about holding yourself accountable to your own highest standards, but in a compassionate way.
Exactly. Think of someone you admire, a historical figure, a mentor, even a fictional character. Ask yourself, how would they have approached the challenges I face today? What can I learn from their example?
I'm starting to see a common thread here. All of these practices, from eliminating stimuli to reviewing your day and contemplating your inner sage, are about cultivating self-awareness and aligning your actions with your values.
You're absolutely right. They're all tools for creating a sense of inner peace and purpose.
Okay, I'm ready for practice number 5.
hmm
What's next on our journey to a restful night?
So this next one is a favorite of mine. It's all about kind of shifting your perspective. Marcus Aurelius would actually visualize himself from the perspective of the cosmos.
Wait, so like imagining himself like floating in space?
Oh, not quite floating, but more about zooming out, expanding his awareness beyond his immediate concerns, and seeing himself as part of something much larger. It's about recognizing that, our individual worries are often quite small in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I can see how that could be incredibly calming, especially when you're feeling really stressed or overwhelmed. It's like taking a mental step back to gain a sense of perspective.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we're all connected, part of something much greater than ourselves. So imagine this. You start by focusing on your immediate surroundings, your room, your house. Then you expand your awareness to your city, your country, the entire planet.
Okay, I'm with you. So far, I can feel my anxiety starting to melt away already.
Keep going. Zoom out further to encompass the solar system, the galaxy, the vastness of the universe. It's really a humbling experience that can help you release your grip on those everyday worries.
It's like all those little things that seemed so important just moments ago suddenly fade into insignificance.
And as you release that tension, you create space for a sense of peace and clarity to emerge. It's a powerful technique and one that you can use anytime you need to shift your perspective.
This is definitely going in my evening routine. And what's next?
Okay, this one is simple but profound. Spend time with family. Even as an emperor, Marcus Aurelius made it a priority to connect with his loved ones each evening. He recognized the importance of nurturing those relationships and creating that sense of warmth and connection.
I think that's something we often forget in our busy lives. We get so caught up in work and chores and commitments that we sometimes neglect the people who matter most.
It's easy to let those connections slip, but it's so important to make time for them. Those moments of, shared laughter conversation or simply being present with each other are what truly nourish our souls.
It's interesting how this practice ties back into the idea of eliminating external stimuli. When you're truly present with your loved ones, you're not thinking about work, checking your phone, or worrying about tomorrow. You're fully engaged in the moment, and that in itself is a form of peace.
That's a beautiful insight. And it doesn't have to be elaborate. Simply sharing a meal together, reading a book to your children, or having a meaningful conversation can make all the difference. It's about making those connections a priority and cherishing the time you have together.
I'm already feeling more relaxed just thinking about it.
hmm
Okay, on to the final practice for a restful night. What's number 7?
This one is all about preparing for the mornings. Now, this might seem a bit counterintuitive since we're talking about an evening routine, but hear me out.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So Marcus Aurelius believed in waking up early and having a structured morning routine. But he also recognized that a successful morning routine actually starts the night before. By taking a few simple steps to prepare, you can set yourself up for a smoother, less stressful start to the day.
So it's like planting seeds for a peaceful morning the night before? What kind of preparations are we talking about?
Simple things, really. Choosing your outfit, packing your bag, making a to-do list, prepping breakfast ingredients. Anything that will help you minimize decision fatigue and streamline your morning routine.
I can see how that would make a big difference. When you're already feeling rushed and overwhelmed first thing in the morning, it just sets a chaotic tone for the rest of the day.
Exactly. By taking care of these logistical details the night before, you free up mental space and energy to focus on more important things. It's about creating a sense of calm and intentionality from the moment you wake up.
And of course, a key part of preparing for the morning is making sure you get enough sleep.
Absolutely. Aim for 6 to 8 hours of quality rest to allow your body and mind to fully recharge. It's amazing how much of a difference a good night's sleep can make in our mood, energy levels, and overall well-being.
It's like hitting the reset button for your entire system.
And all of these practices, from eliminating external stimuli to preparing for the mornings, work together to create a holistic approach to evening self-care.
They're like pieces of a puzzle that fit together to create a picture of tranquility and well-being.
Yeah, it's important to remember that these are just starting points. Feel free to adapt them to your own lifestyle and preferences. The key is to find what works for you and to be consistent.
And to be patient with yourself. Building new habits takes time, and it's okay to start small. Even incorporating one or two of these practices into your evening routine can make a noticeable difference.
That's such an important point. It's about progress, not perfection.
You know, it's fascinating how these ancient Stoic practices are so relevant to our modern lives.
They offer timeless wisdom for navigating the challenges of daily life and cultivating a sense of inner peace, which is especially important, as we wind down for the night.
Now let's dive into a specific practice that can be incredibly helpful for inducing sleep meditation. It's a practice that's been around for centuries and for good reason.
It's amazing how something so simple can have such profound effects on our mental and physical well-being. There are so many different types of meditation out there, but the one that's often recommended for sleep is mindfulness meditation.
Right? It's all about bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment. You simply notice your thoughts, feelings, and sensations as they arise without getting carried away by them.
It's like watching clouds drift by. You acknowledge them, but you don't try to control them or attach to them.
Exactly. And when you practice mindfulness meditation regularly, you start to develop a greater sense of awareness and acceptance.
Which can be incredibly helpful when you're trying to fall asleep. Instead of getting caught up in worries or anxieties, you can simply observe them and let them go.
And there's actually a growing body of scientific evidence to support the benefits of mindfulness meditation for sleep. Studies have shown that it can help people fall asleep faster, sleep longer, and wake up feeling more rested.
So if you're struggling with sleep, give it a try. There are tons of great guided meditations available online and through apps. You can also find mindfulness exercises specifically designed for sleep.
And remember, consistency is key. Even a few minutes of meditation each day can make a difference. Now, another important aspect of a good night's sleep is creating a relaxing bedtime routine.
Yes, this is so important. It's about signaling to your body and mind that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep.
And this routine can include a variety of activities, such as taking a warm bath, reading a book, or listening to calming music.
Dimming the lights and avoiding screen time in the hour before bed can also be incredibly helpful.
Right. The blue light emitted from electronic devices can actually interfere with your body's natural sleep-wake cycle, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
So put away those phones and tablets and give your eyes and your brain a break.
And speaking of breaks, it's important to give yourself permission to relax and unwind before bed.
We often feel like we have to be productive all the time, but it's essential to carve out time for rest and rejuvenation.
If you're constantly on the go, your body and mind never get a chance to fully recover.
And that can lead to stress, burnout, and sleep problems.
So make it a priority to schedule in some downtime each evening. Whether it's reading a book, taking a bath, or simply spending time with loved ones, find activities that help you relax and de-stress.
And don't be afraid to say no to commitments that will eat into your relaxation time. It's okay to prioritize your own well-being.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about another important aspect of sleep hygiene, creating a sleep-conducive environment.
This is all about making your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep.
It should be dark, quiet, and cool, and make sure your bed is comfortable and supportive.
If you're sensitive to noise, consider using a white noise machine or earplugs to block out distractions.
And if you tend to get too hot at night, try using a fan or lightweight bedding to stay cool.
Now let's dive a little deeper into the concept of inner peace that we touched on earlier. It's something that Marcus Aurelius emphasized in his writings.
You know, for the Stoics, inner peace wasn't about avoiding challenges or pretending that life is always rosy.
It was about finding a sense of calm and stability within yourself regardless of what's happening around you.
And that's something we can all cultivate no matter what our circumstances are.
It's about accepting what we can't control and focusing our energy on what we can.
And it's about choosing our thoughts and actions wisely in alignment with our values.
And a big part of finding inner peace is letting go of negativity. That means forgiving yourself for past mistakes, releasing resentment towards others, and choosing to focus on the good in your life.
It's also about practicing gratitude. Taking time each day to appreciate the things you have, no matter how small, can make a huge difference in your overall well-being.
And speaking of gratitude, let's take a moment to appreciate the power of sleep itself.
Yeah, it's truly a remarkable process that's essential for our physical, mental, and emotional health.
When we sleep, our bodies and minds have a chance to repair and recharge. We wake up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to face the day.
So let's make a commitment to prioritize sleep and to create healthy sleep habits.
Our future selves will thank us for it.
Now let's transition to a specific technique that can be incredibly helpful for inducing sleep progressive muscle relaxation.
This is a technique that involves systematically tensing and relaxing different muscle groups in your body.
It's based on the idea that physical tension can contribute to mental stress and make it harder to fall asleep.
By consciously releasing that tension, you can calm your body and mind and prepare for sleep.
Here's how it works. You start by finding a comfortable position, either lying down or sitting in a chair. Then you bring your attention to a specific muscle group, such as your toes or your calves.
You tense those muscles as tightly as you can for about 5 seconds. Then you slowly release the tension and let your muscles go completely limp.
You continue this process, moving up your body, tensing and relaxing each muscle group in turn.
As you practice progressive muscle relaxation, you'll start to become more aware of the sensations in your body. You'll also learn to identify areas where you hold tension.
And by consciously releasing that tension, you can promote a sense of deep relaxation that can help you drift off to sleep.
Now, another helpful technique for inducing sleep is visualization.
This is all about using your imagination to create calming and peaceful images in your mind.
You might imagine yourself in a beautiful natural setting, such as a beach, a forest, or a meadow.
Or you might visualize yourself floating on a cloud or drifting down a lazy river.
The key is to choose images that are personally meaningful to you and that evoke feelings of peace and tranquility.
As you visualize these images, try to engage all of your senses. What do you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel?
The more vivid and detailed your visualizations, the more effective they will be in calming your mind and inducing sleep.
And if your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to the images you've chosen.
Now let's talk about another important aspect of sleep consistency.
So this means going to bed and waking up around the same time each day, even on weekends.
When you maintain a regular sleep schedule, you're essentially training your body's natural sleep-wake cycle to function optimally.
And this can make it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep throughout the night.
Of course, there will be times when you need to adjust your sleep schedule, such as when you're traveling or working night shifts.
But as much as possible, try to stick to a consistent routine.
It's one of the best things you can do for your sleep health.
Now let's shift gears again and talk about a specific type of meditation that can be incredibly helpful for calming the mind before bed. Loving kindness meditation.
This is a beautiful practice that involves cultivating feelings of love, compassion, and kindness towards yourself and others.
It's based on the idea that harboring negative emotions such as anger, resentment, or jealousy can create mental and emotional turmoil that can interfere with sleep.
By practicing loving-kindness meditation, you can shift your focus to positive emotions, which can promote a sense of peace and well-being that can help you drift off to sleep. Here's how it works. You start by finding a comfortable position and bringing your attention to your breath.
Then you begin by sending feelings of loving kindness to yourself. You might repeat phrases such as, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be peaceful."
And as you cultivate these feelings towards yourself, you can gradually extend them outwards, first to loved ones, then to neutral people, and eventually to all beings.
It's a really beautiful practice that can help you cultivate a sense of interconnectedness and compassion.
And it can also be incredibly calming and soothing, making it a perfect addition to your bedtime routine.
As we wrap up our deep dive into these Stoic-inspired practices for a more restful night, I want to emphasize the importance of self-care.
In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to put our own needs on the back burner. But taking care of ourselves, both physically and mentally, is crucial for our overall well-being.
And sleep is such a fundamental part of self-care. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity.
Absolutely. So make sleep a priority. Create that relaxing bedtime routine, practice mindfulness, and cultivate a sleep-conducive environment.
And remember, if you're struggling with sleep, don't hesitate to reach out for professional help.
There are so many effective treatments available. There's no shame in seeking support.
Tell us which of these Stoic-inspired practices resonated with you most. What are some of your favorite ways to unwind and prepare for a good night's sleep? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.
And be sure to stay tuned and subscribe to Black Screen Bright Ideas for more content on mindful living, personal growth, and the pursuit of a more fulfilling life.
Thanks for joining us tonight, and sleep well.